Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to assemble a Staccato 2011 frame to a Cheely grip with a red dirt trigger. This trigger's already been tuned. There's a couple of things that can give you a little bit of a hiccup, so you just have to be patient when putting one of these together. First thing you're going to do is assemble your disco or your disconnector. The flat face is going to face forward, this direction. It does lie on the outside of the trigger bar, so make sure when you put it together, you line them up correctly. All right, you're going to assemble it, and you're going to put it through that hole down here. You see that hole? And you're going to try to do this in one shot. This can be a pain, but it went in. So take a punch and line them up, flip it over, double check everything's lined up. Before you take that punch out, get your pin, and you're going to take this and you're going to drop your pin in. Okay. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to put your trigger bar into your grip, right, like so. You are going to take your mag release. This can be a pain to set in. There's a little flathead screw right here. You're going to line them up. You're going to apply pressure together like this. And you're going to twist at the same time to find that sweet spot. And it's just going to basically lock itself back in, just like so. All right, so that's set. Now you're going to assemble your grip to your frame, keeping in mind that your disco, this guy right here, has to be on the outside of here. So I have done this a few times. I like to tilt things back and just assemble it. If it assembles correctly, there will be no gaps here. And as you can see, it's assembled correctly. So with that being said, the first thing I need to do to make sure this detent does not come, or not detent, but this pin come out, because it will move on you, as you can see, is I like to put my safety in and just leave it there. That prevents this pin from falling out. The next thing I like to do is go ahead and flip the assembly over. I like starting from the right side. I'm going to put the nut insert in here. It only goes one way. Flat face faces up. You're going to stick it in here. It's probably not going to be flush to begin with until you set the screw in here. You're going to take a drop of Loctite, put it on there. You're going to get your Allen. You're going to go ahead and finger tight this only. When you're screwing it in, you can wiggle it around a little bit until it becomes flush. You'll feel it when it becomes flush. Only hand tighten this and just snug it. Okay. All right. So meaning flush, you can see the screws here, and this whole piece is flush. It's actually below the frame. It locks into the frame. So the next thing I do is do the same thing on the other side. Put it in. This one went in flush all the way. I felt it. A little bit of Loctite. And just screw it in. All right. Just snug for right now. Next thing you're going to do is flip the assembly back over, and you're going to take these two guys and you're going to put them in. The way to do this, the easiest way to do this, is go ahead, get your Allen key, set it in place, and just tap it real quick with a hammer. Just tap. Now we're in. Flip it over, put a little bit of Loctite on That's like too much. So we're going to take some of that off. And we got a little bit. And we're going to set it on our Allen key. All right, that should be enough. We're going to just screw it in. Once this is screwed in, you can tighten this one down. All right. Once it's tightened down, then you can tighten down your grip bolts or your grip screws. Okay, that's tight. Now go ahead and tighten down your grip screws. That one's tight. And that one's tight. All right. Now, go ahead and remove your safety for right now. Put your hammer in and keep the hammer rod pointing upward. Line that hole up. You can take your punch, line it up, and then set your pen in. Pens only go from left to right. By having that up, go ahead and take your spring, set your spring in. There is a groove right here, and there's a groove right here. Make sure these two line up. They sit in flush, like so. Take your hammer spring housing and slide it in there just to hold it in place. You're going to hold your spring. Now you can drop your rod and you can put your beaver tail in. And one thing you want to do is make sure that this rod moves freely. All right, you can go ahead and set your safety lever on the right hand side in. What I like to do is I like to tilt the gun backwards. Make sure that detent doesn't come out. And double check. Make sure that rod is free, which it's not. It is now. Now we're assembled. See how it's tight here? So go ahead and put a pin in to hold it in place for right now. All right. Okay, so now it's pretty much assembled. The only other things you need to do is you need to double check to make sure the trigger's set right. So you should hear 2 clicks. Click 1, click 2, okay? Double check that again. You should hear 2 clicks. Click 1, click 2. Okay, you know it's set. Next thing you're going to do is go ahead and put your spring. This is your safety spring. It goes only one way. Small end goes in. Big end comes out. Let's see what is going on here. Maybe, yeah. So we want to make sure it goes out through the other end. Okay, you can see it right there. All right, now you're going to put your safety, take your hammer, you're going to bring it back. You take your safety lever for the left-hand side. Okay. You want to make sure these are lined up because they're keywayed right there. Right, and I'll go ahead and show you the other one. They're keywayed. So you got to make sure they're lined up pretty good. Any punch or Allen, you want to set them in. Okay. Double check your safety. All right. This safety does not want to work together. So we're going to pull this safety back out. I have an extra one that I use. I'll line these guys up. Okay. Okay. Safety works now. Okay. No bang. Bang. Okay. So now, applying pressure down towards the beaver tail, you're going to add these two items right here. You're going to press as hard as you can. What I like to do is get everything set up. Okay. And then you come from the other side. You get everything lined up. Pop the pin in, tap it out. You have the lower assembly done. Right. Okay. All right. Last thing you need to do is go ahead and put the slide on. Okay. Key is to make sure this is lined up in here. All right. Safety's on, no bang. Safety on, no bang. All right. Last, go ahead and put your flashlight back on if you have one. And we'll go ahead one last thing, we'll test the trigger. All right, we should be around 2.5 pounds. $276. $256. $264. 2.6 is actually a little bit less than that. 2.7. So it's not a bad trigger. I like it. I will replace that. I just didn't replace it during this video. So, that being said, Cheely grip, red dirt trigger, Surefire light. This is a nice setup. SRO. It's got a monsoon port. It's called a Genghis Comp. This gun runs pretty well. It's got approximately 150,000 rounds through it. It's one of my favorite guns. There is a piece of tape here because this is a very aggressive grip, but really like it. So let me know what you think, and if you enjoy this video, please leave a comment. Thank you very much.